One of the most difficult trends we're seeing affect veterinarians is just the complexity and contradiction of facilities and the cost that grows out of it. And I kind of look back to my own life and look at trying to figure out ways to get rid of this and to prioritize and to figure out how you can live simpler. And I think that same thing goes to veterinary facilities.
And the last few years actually has been maybe not a bad thing for all of us. I mean, it's been a difficult time in some ways to get through some of the economic changes, but we've really been focusing on ways to make projects more streamlined, simpler, smaller, more efficient, more effective, and that's
back to the basics.
Back to the basics, and that really is what it's all about.
So, if I talk about projects being more complex, we're building 80,000 square foot facilities. We're building facilities that cost hundreds of dollars a square foot, and it's all wonderful and fun, but it really does create issues. So you need to think of, does this make sense for you? So the first step in the process, I think, is understanding where you stand in the development. So as an example, if you're starting out and you are undercapitalized and overambitious, then your needs are different than the veterinarian down the block. If you're in a mature practice and you are trying to tweak it and grow it, but basically you're working with your existing, then that's a different direction. And then last, there's the situation of being in a mature practice and how do you keep it going, maybe not for hundreds of years, but just for a couple more years, so you can retire to the tropical island. So you need to decide what you are trying to do. Where are you in the S curve? So, and that means aligning your expectations. So you have to look at what money you have available and what you can do with it. And so most of you probably don't have unlimited funds, and there's nothing wrong with that. You have to look at what works for you. And then the other side of that is you have to pay for what's worth it. So if you want to be in the best market, you'll have to pay to be in the best market. But it doesn't mean you have to be into the biggest building in the best market. You could be into the smallest building known to man, but you are in the right spot. So know how much money you have to spend, be okay with that process, and then zero in on how you can actually do that. So the other side of that is keeping an eye on your return. You need to test every expenditure that you have against what you have available. So once again, the goal here isn't to make it bigger and better and more complicated and cost more money and make your life more difficult and this type of thing. The goal here is to figure out how you can do it simply, directly, and maximize your return. So, and then from there, we also have the other side is like, what makes you happy? So you can have the biggest facility known to man, but if you're not happy with the process, then you're in the wrong spot. So a lot of you guys probably are in situations where you have buildings where you don't have windows in them, as an example, and you go in every morning and it's a dread. It's a place you don't want to be. So do you want to recreate that? Do you want to transcend that? What can you do to do something different? This is your chance to do it. And once again, it doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be costly. It has to be prioritizing your needs and then meeting them. So being a baby boomer and looking at life, everything has a place and a time. You don't have to have a Taj Mahal. You have to have a place that makes sense for you. And to do that, you don't have to rush into it. You don't have to tackle this today. You don't have to make all the decisions today. All you have to do is make the right decisions today, to take your time to do your homework, to pick out what it is that's important to you and move ahead with it. And then you have to be able to listen to the resources that are around you. And so the architect, the contractors, the accountants, the bankers, everybody are there to help. But they're also busy selling. Okay, and you have to sit and listen and pick out the good pieces of that. You need to find the nuggets that work for you, that ring true, that you can carry forward to build a facility that is responsive to your needs, not your neighbors. It really isn't that complicated. It doesn't have to be that costly. It can be a relatively simple process. You can do it. It's fundamental. It's easy. One step at a time.